this movie already?
Boy, it feels like it. Welcome to the review, a show where two small-town dudes give you our big, hellish opinions redux. Last week we talked about the 2019 version of Hellboy, and this week we're diving into its first theatrical appearance, 2004, Guillermo Del Toro.
Based off a poll we put out.
That's
I almost
right.
forgot that we did this.
Yeah. We had the choice of the Golden Army or the original.
Yeah.
The original.
Almost unanimously, everyone voted for the original.
I know. So here we are, talking about it like it's the first time it ever happened.
Yeah. Feels like the first time.
Oh boy, does it.
Feels like the very first time.
Let's just jump right into it, JT. Hellboy 2004, directed by Guillermo Del Toro, starring Ron Perlman.
Yeah.
Dropped April 2nd, 2004.
Wow. Kind of around the same time.
Yeah.
Not too far off.
Mm-hmm. Had a budget of $66 million, which is $16 million more than the 2019 version.
Okay.
Domestically made $59.6 million.
Yeah.
Worldwide, $99.3 million.
It's not that big of a hit.
No.
So why the fuck they make another one?
That's a good question. I actually should have looked up what... the second movie did better.
Really?
Than the first one.
Yeah, I remember...
It had a bigger budget, which I don't know how he got that off the
Jesus
books.
Christ.
Let me look that up right now.
It feels weird. Like, there's so many of these like weird properties that like these studios are like, oh yeah, gold mine. Where it's like, but it didn't. What makes you think it's gonna be good this time?
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the box. So the budget for the second one was $85 million.
Jesus.
But the box office was quite a bit more than what the first one was.
Yeah.
And it looks like they probably made more money back on the second one.
Oh, the second one I think got way weirder with it though.
A little bit. But it's got better reviews in this one. Not by much.
Yeah.
But it's got better overall reviews. So there you go. But we're not talking about that one. We're talking about the first one.
The original.
Rotten Tomatoes has the original at 81%. Pretty good.
Very much higher than the one we talked about this past.
IMDb has it at a 6.9 out of 10.
Yeah.
And Poffy the Cucumbers, Movie Mania, gave it a 5 out of 10 Poffy Cucumbers.
Oh, well. There you go.
There you have it.
They actually have to specify that they're Poffy cucumbers?
Well, the Poffy, the titular Poffy, is a cucumber.
Okay. So this is being reviewed by a cucumber.
He's a cartoon cucumber.
Okay.
And he rates how well a movie does by how many of them there are of him. So you can
there's 5 cucumbers in Hellboy?
Yes. There are 5 cucumbers in Hellboy. Out of a possible 10 that could fit.
Yeah. It's a very loose Hellboy.
So, JT, would you mind me taking the reins?
Go for it, because you're probably going to say much more different than what I said a couple days ago.
So, Hellboy is brought to Earth by a Nazi occult that wishes to bring forth the end of the world so the world can be created anew in a new Eden. With that, Hellboy is brought into this world and found by the United States Army.
Yeah.
And with that, raises him into an adulthood where he becomes a paranormal investigator in secret to the rest of the world. Yes. And goes on many merry adventures. And meets up with an old foe from his creation. And gets in a bit of a scuffle.
Yeah. You pretty much lost as much wind as I did trying to explain the...
It's always trying to, I always try to, not spoil it in the synopsis, even though this movie is, 15 years old at this point.
Yeah.
But everyone's seen it. If you're tuning into this, you've seen it. Yeah. Most likely.
If you haven't seen this, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
Why the fuck you even listen to us? Fucking idiot.
So, what... Okay, let's just start right off the bat. We just did a Hellboy review Thursday. Going into this one, revisiting this one...
I forgot to bring this up on Thursday, that the 2019 Hellboy legit completely plays out the first 10 minutes of this movie, but like in a weird community theater version. Like, it's just like, they even like go through and show all the characters.
Yeah. To a point where I thought if it wasn't for like the reduced budget, and it's not even that much of a reduced budget, mind you.
No.
Of the newer one, it looks like almost shot for shot.
Yeah. Like they even show the weird gas mask assassin guy where it's like, well, that guy's got to play a factor because he's way too weird to just have him in this scene.
Yeah.
But then it's like, no. He's going to be a big factor in this one.
Right.
Not in the 2019.
Not at all. Not at all. I really like the Guillermo Hellboy movies.
I do too.
And I've been a big supporter of them ever since they came out. I remember getting a detention in high school for getting in an argument with my history teacher because he said this movie sucked. And I said he was stupid because it doesn't suck at all.
And he's the mayor.
And now he's the mayor.
So who's stupid now, Troy?
I guess I'm the stupid one. If only I hadn't run against him for mayor.
Granted, this is also the same guy that gave someone a detention because he lost... I was legit sitting in class one day, and he got into debate with someone, and then they proved him wrong, and then he gave him a detention. That's our mayor.
He's bitter.
He's kind of a bitter shit sometimes. And I can't say too much about him because he lives like 3 houses up from me.
Because we know he listens.
He's avid listener. Avid listener.
Oh, what a guy. So, anywho, I really... Things I love about the Guillermo Del Toro ones, his vision for detail is amazing.
All the characters in this are really... like crazily detailed and awesome looking.
Yeah, it's even like the small little details and everything. All the creature designs I think are really well done. Whereas like we didn't talk about it so much on Thursday, but like the creature designs in that one are different than this.
Yeah.
But I just they were kind of CGI, kind of clunky.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of hard to see what was going on with them sometimes.
Yeah, they move so fast you can't really tell, like, what's going on with them. And then, like, his actual counterparts are just humans. So it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah. And in this, granted, there aren't as many things going on, but I felt like it was more like the beasts in this.
Oh, yeah, the Semi-Elves.
Yeah, I think are really cool.
Yeah.
They got a lot going on with them. And you look at the little intricate designs on them. They all have, like, little spirals in them.
Yeah.
Like, engraved in their skin. And that kind of, like, harkens to, like, Hellboy, who's got a bit of spiral things going on.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. His eye for aesthetics is super well tuned.
Yeah.
And, like, also I love that CG wasn't all there, and there's some points in this where the CG isn't really great because it's 2004.
It's 2000.
Yeah, but like everything else is almost practical, and I applaud Guillermo for doing that.
I even think the Hellboy in this looks better than the Hellboy in the.
I also prefer this Hellboy look as well.
Yeah, because like even like where the horns are supposed to come out, like in the 2019 one, like the skin is like weirdly frayed around it.
Yeah, like his skin almost split open.
Yeah,
to have the horns come out. Where this one it's like
whereas like if that's a natural part of your body, why would your skin fray out like that?
Whereas it's like the horns like are a part of his anatomy.
They're a part of his
and they just sit in his skull.
Exactly.
And it just I don't know, it's like, even though I did fall into the David Harbour look, he just like looks more aggressive.
Yeah.
I guess. And like there's a lot more, I think, emoting in Ron Perlman's makeup than I think David Harbour could get.
Yeah, like Ron Perlman's Hellboy feels more inviting than David Harbour's does.
Yeah.
Like I would hang out more with Ron Perlman's Hellboy than David Harbour's.
Yeah.
Because David Harbour's just feels like he's gonna yell at me if I do one thing wrong. At least with Ron Perlman, he's gonna be like, well, as long as you agree with me, I don't really give a shit.
Want to have a beer?
Yeah.
Great.
Ah, crap.
Says that a lot in this, but he also says it a lot in the book, so I'm just like, I can't argue with that.
But no, that's what I like about this one, where it's like, I felt like in the 2019 one, like, he always had to have, like, some kind of one-liner or something. Yeah. There's parts in this where, like, Ron Perlman's will just get stuck in a situation and be like, ah, crap.
He's just automatically fed up with it, just like, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Like, I don't know, it just felt like the 2019 one tried so hard to make him, like, witty, even though it wasn't even, like, a witty line. Mm-hmm. And in this, it'll be like, ah, shit.
But it never, and it's also PG-13, so it never really crossed that line of just being vulgar, which he never does anyway. At the most, he says, like, God damn in the books.
Yeah.
Or I don't think he ever utters, like, shit. If he does, it's, like, way, like, rare that he would. And I feel like the Ron Perlman take on him is way closer to the source material, where he's like kind of downtrodden.
Yeah.
He's never gets way up in anybody's face unless he's super, super provoked.
Yeah.
Where then he like raises his voice, but otherwise he's just like kind of laid back.
Yeah.
And I really like that. Like that voice that he gave him.
Yeah, like I like how he's kind of childlike in a way, because he's always stuck in seclusion because like they have to keep him out of public view.
Yeah,
but he still has like that kind of blue collarness about him, where he's like, "Hey, pal."
Yeah, exactly. I love that part about him.
And then like just like the fun like. It's almost kind of fun to follow him into these scenes where, like, he's supposed to investigate, like, with him and Abe together, where Abe is the one that examines the scene, and then Hellboy's the one that's brought in to just kind of take care of whatever fucked up thing is in there.
Right.
Like, they feel like an actual team that you would actually bring into a scene.
Yeah. As
opposed to the weird fucking medium and the dude that turns into a cheetah for no reason.
Right.
And Hellboy. Where it's like, what does this team do? Like, what does this team accomplish together?
Right.
But you can see Abe and Hellboy together being like, okay, this is the 1-2 punch of how you fully, like, examine a crime scene.
Yeah. And I like that they not only introduce these characters fairly close to one another, and then they go out on a mission fairly soon after that, and it feels like they've been working together forever already.
Yeah.
Because of that dynamic that they have. It's just like, yep, it's like everything that you just said. And like, granted, like they doesn't have that kind of aspect in the new one either, because it's like a team that's thrown together kind of like happenstance.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. The one thing though that like I like that they do in the book is that like Hellboy is just a public figure in the book. Like, everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
He's not like some hidden government agent or something like that.
And it's funny because in this movie, it feels like they kind of give up and they just do that anyways. Whereas, like, in the subway and people are like, you're Hellboy. Whereas, like, he's supposed to be a secret.
Yeah. Granted, like, a poorly guarded secret because he's always trying to escape all the time.
He's trying to meet up with his fire girlfriend chick.
Right. Liz Sherman.
Liz.
Who... He has he doesn't have like a romantic connection with in the book.
Yeah.
And so like not that I really hated it in this. Like I think maybe they wanted to have that kind of something for the movie.
I think this is like before comic book movies get really big, where like it's like if you make an action film, the protagonist has to have a love interest.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah. But and I didn't like hate it. I just like after reading more Hellboy after the movie came out, I'm like, oh, they're not even really that an item.
Yeah.
In the book. Like Liz Sherman kind of like isn't incapacitated in the Hellboy books fairly quickly.
Yeah.
She didn't die, but she's not in the stories a whole lot.
Yeah.
So what do you think of Liz Sherman as we're on her?
I mean, she was fine.
Yeah.
I like the idea of her because like it's kind of like that X-Men type thing where it's like my powers are so powerful that I can't be anywhere.
Right.
Where it's like that's the thing that like always that drove me kind of crazy, where she was like, I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna stay in this hospital. Where it's like all you have to do is slap her in the face and she's a fucking bomb. She's a goddamn napalm missile.
Yeah.
Where it's like I love that scene where like Rasputin like sneaks into her room and then like kind of like tricks her into setting it all on fire. And then like the hospital people seem like the most callous fucking people. Where it's like people probably died in that. And all they talk about is like, shit, we're going to be out of commission for like 3 weeks. Like, what about the people that died? What about the people that were on staff? Mm-hmm. Like, oh man.
Screw 'em.
Yeah, fuck them. They knew what they were getting into.
Oh my. Abe is great in this. We kind of already touched on that a little bit, but Doug Jones does an amazing job doing the actual physical acting in this.
David Hyde Pierce does the voice.
But he went uncredited because
really?
He thought that Doug Jones did such a good job physically doing the role that he's like, don't even credit me.
They work together so well that it's like it feels like it's all one person.
Yeah.
I never like when I first saw the movie, I thought David Hyde Pierce was in the costume.
So did I. And even now, like it's seamless.
Yeah.
Like it's such a good dubbing.
Yeah.
That like it's hard to believe that it can be that good. But yeah.
It's ridiculous.
And in the second one, the follow-up to this, Doug Jones does everything. And he does kind of like a facsimile of David Hyde Pierce.
Yeah.
But even then, I like that too.
Okay.
Like if you watch them back to back, like it's a little bit jarring.
Yeah.
Going into it, like, oh, it's not quite David Hyde Pierce.
I know. I gotta go back and watch the second one because I didn't watch the second one yet.
Yeah,
I've seen it, but it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. That's why I kind of wanted to watch that one instead of this one.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like this one at all, but like because this one has like a chunk of my kind of favorite stuff of Hellboy.
Yeah. Where
it's like evil Nazis trying to summon this occult stuff and trying to send like this otherworldly demon to Earth.
Yeah.
And I like that kind of stuff.
I love the assassin in this. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but like
the guy that winds himself up.
Yeah, yep.
Let me look it up. I can't remember.
They show him in the beginning and he has the fucking the cool Baraka swords that come out of his out of his wrists and shit, and then like as it goes on, like he just looks like he's just fucking himself up more and more. Like I never really paid full attention to that autopsy scene when it's the doctor working on him, but it's like he's like super obsessed with surgery and he cut his own eyelids and his lips off, or he's just like, Jesus, this dude's fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Rasputin is just like using him as a puppet, where it's like, good lord, please kill this man. He needs to die.
His name's Cronin.
Yeah, Cronin.
Yeah. And it's funny too because like I know why they picked him to be in the movie because he's got a very interesting look.
Yeah.
But in the book, like he's like super easily dispatched. He's not like this formidable of a foe at all.
Yeah.
So I do like that he's got a great look and they really embellished on it a lot.
Yeah, and he's super. He has those weird spinning swords that he like uses all the time, which I love. That there's so much stabbing in this movie and people bleed like maybe like there's like 3 drops of blood in a human body.
Yeah. Except for that guy who gets it right at the beginning.
Yeah, right at the beginning, and then just bleeds into that maze of shit.
And then, Rasputin comes up in like a bath of blood.
Yeah, he bleeds so much that he makes a person.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, this is my favorite type of Hellboy stuff. All the Nazi occult stuff is it's so much fun. In any medium, I think the Nazi occult stuff is fun.
Totally.
How they're trying to get like super science going and by any means necessary to do it. Yeah. I love that shit.
I know. I've always been fascinated with like those kinds of stories where it's like, let's just take shit that like you knew that like these kind of groups were flirting with and just embellish it to the point where it was like they got this close.
Yeah.
Because like there's always those rumors that Hitler was like super into the occult and like trying to find ways to win the war that was like magic and shit. Where it's like, but what if it was true? What if he came close?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I fucking love shit like that.
Yeah, me too. It's super fun, even though World War II was horrible.
Yeah, it was awful.
But
yeah,
if you think about it, they make some really fun stories. So I like that a lot. The whole Rasputin thing, he's like a real life character that was turned into a bit of a fiction, but he's like the Rasputin from legend.
Yeah, well,
in this,
Molly loves the movie Anastasia, and Rasputin is like the main villain. In
is
Anastasia?
I don't think I've ever seen that. And he,
but yeah, he was like a confidant to the king of Russia, or the Tsar of Russia, that became so powerful that people decided that they needed to kill him, and they legit did like 3 or 4 different things to finally kill him.
Yeah.
Like they shot, stabbed, and hung him.
And poisoned him.
And poisoned him too, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a sweet disco song about it too, if you guys want to look that up.
It's a sweet song.
Yeah, Boney M, check it out.
Rasputin is actually hangs around a long time in the books. Like he's like this overlooming figure for a lot of Hellboy's like time on Earth.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So he's like weaved in and out. Like in this, you could see he's like kind of there for a short amount of time.
Yeah.
But he's even in death in the book. Rasputin still hangs around and like even makes friends with like Baba Yaga and stuff like that.
Oh,
it's a pretty good time. But his goal in this is to summon the Agru Jihad, the 7 dragons of chaos, or the 7 that are one, or whatever it is.
Yeah,
with these big crystalline,
they're like a bunch of fucking krakens coming down.
Yeah, but it is. It's all just like Lovecraftian tentacle horror kind of stuff.
Yep.
That I wasn't really ever into up until like the last couple years.
Yeah.
But I've really started to enjoy that quite a bit, where it's just this ancient evil that was here since the beginning of time, and like it just found itself in Earth, and you can uncover it at any time by just spouting off this gibberish or doing some magical incantation, and then it's there. It's super fun. I like that kind of stuff now.
Yeah. just imagine that you're just like yelling gibberish at somebody, and then it just brings about the apocalypse.
Yeah, I know. This big Cthulhu just comes
out. But fucking shut him out! Like, and then, oh shit! Now there's a big squid monster that's coming out. What the fuck happened? Yeah. Well, we're dead.
Oh Jesus, Cthulhu! Yeah. What are you doing here?
I just dropped a fucking cinder block on my toe, and I just summoned the end of the world.
If there was one thing that I didn't necessarily like in this, it's like the Myers character that they threw in to be like the audience.
Yeah. And I feel like that's another thing about like this is like an early comic book film where it's like there's a lot of Hollywood execs being like, we need a love interest, and we need a person that we can connect with, like a audience avatar that we can see the world through. Yeah. Or it's like after a while, like he almost becomes such a non-factor where it's like, then why is he even here?
Yeah. And like, just because the movie's been around forever, like this time I watched it and I'm like, he didn't really bother me all that much.
Not really.
But then again, like it turns into like this weird kind of love triangle portion of it. And I'm like, I don't care about any of this really. At least, especially on this watch, I'm just like,
yeah,
I don't know.
I know. Like they have that whole scene where like Hellboy's on the roof of that kid, and he's just
Yeah.
like watching them like flirt with each other.
He took a picture. She took a picture of him. She took a picture. I did like it though when Hellboy hucked a rock at his face.
Yeah. He was so pissed about it too. He's just like, who threw that? He's examining the entire the entire background. I'm like, oh, that was inappropriate. Who threw that?
That was good.
Like there's some crazy football game going on in the background too. Or he's like gives like a double glance at that, like, hey, a person from the football game saw you and was like, yeah, I'm gonna throw a rock at that fucking idiot.
Nerd over there.
Yeah, fuck that nerd trying to get laid. I'm gonna throw a rock at him. Like,
you got hit with a rock, you pussy.
It would be a more impressive pass than anyone would do in that football game that's being played.
That's good. Well, and then I guess I didn't necessarily like the child-esque nature of this either. Just like having him Hellboy be kind of like a jealous, kind of like adolescent, I suppose.
I mean, I didn't mind it so much.
Yeah, but just because it's been around for forever.
And they're trying to play off that whole idea that he's so sheltered that he is kind of adolescent in that way, where like he doesn't really interact with a lot of people, like he's stuck indoors all the time. Like the only reason Abe is so cultured is because he's been around since Abe Lincoln.
Yeah.
And he reads constantly, whereas Hellboy just kind of sits in his room and just eats everything imaginable, and then just dwells on the fact that he can't go out.
Right. So Rasputin ends up getting the best of Hellboy at one point, locking him in some stocks.
Yeah.
You wanting to use that right hand to open up a portal, because that's what the hand is a key to unlock a door.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool concept.
Mm-hmm. There's like entire issues in the book just about the right hand of Doom.
Yeah.
That like give like a whole history and everything like that. And
that's cool.
Yeah. And
I didn't remember that going back and revisiting this, where it's like he's got this giant hand, like it needs to be it needs to like stand for something.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't become this person that's like, I got this big stone hand.
Yeah. It's almost more important than Hellboy himself is his hand.
Yeah.
In the book and in this. Because, like, in the book, the only reason they need Hellboy is because if the hand is chopped off and they try to use it that way, like, it won't work because it needed to be, like, on something living.
Yeah.
Or else the blood inside of it will be poisonous or something like that. It's all fucked up. But it's, like, it's the same kind of general idea where, like, his hand is the key to open up this doorway for this Cthulhu monster to come and rid the earth of everything to start over anew.
Yeah. But like the thing I appreciate the most about Hellboy, especially like even in the 2019 one that we talked about, is that they introduce him as a child to someone who has never had children in their lives. Like depending on the compassion of humanity to preserve something that's gonna initially end the world.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like the idea of that.
Yeah.
Like especially with like the 2019 one, which, spoiler alert, he ends up being the kin of King Arthur, and they like trick this chick into fucking a demon, so that he could be born, so that they can actually use Excalibur, and then he could arm himself with Excalibur, which is the only thing that could actually fuck up the Blood Queen chick. Like it's like. And in this, like, he has the right hand as the key to open the doorway to unlock all those demons and shit. Like, I love the idea of Hellboy being this thing that should not necessarily be around. And the fact that he's around is because of human compassion, and the fact that he doesn't do what he does is because of human compassion.
Yeah. And I guess because they give him, like, almost like a younger personality, it gives him like room to grow, I suppose.
Yeah.
If he started like as an adult. He wouldn't have like necessarily an arc.
Yeah, like if he were to be fully mature, then he would have already made the decision that he was supposed to make at that point.
Yeah.
But the fact that he still isn't completely emotionally like mature means that there's still enough room to trick him into doing this terrible thing.
Yeah. And long story short, Hellboy overcomes the great Gregory Rasputin.
Yeah.
And ends up saving the world through like by blowing himself up. But good thing he's like nigh indestructible.
Yeah.
So.
Like, does anything kill? Like, what kills Hellboy?
See,
there's so much shit that he goes through.
In this, he's like unstoppable. But in the 2019 one, he's like, he can be stabbed.
In the 2019 one, though, he gets super fucked up, but he still doesn't die.
Right. Like, it's kind of weird, like, he doesn't succumb to his wounds when he gets impaled completely on things.
Yeah.
But, I like that he's a little more vulnerable in the 2019 one in this. In this, he's just, like, a tank.
But in this, he's pretty vulnerable, too. Like, even, like, all the semi-elves that he comes across, like, one of them fucks him up.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So, I like that we're, like, as opposed to, like, the 2019 one, like, he's fighting 3 giants by himself, and he's, like, he's getting fucked up, but he's still handling them.
Yeah.
Whereas, in this one, like, he's fighting one demon dog, and he's getting his fucking ass kicked and barely killing them.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. What else? Anything else about this?
No, not so much.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's just, I had a fun time with it.
Yeah, same. We did, like, kind of dabble in it a little bit as we were talking about the David Harbour one.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to hold back as much as I could
about
I
wanted to talk about this one. It's so bad.
Talk about this more, but yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. It felt like this one knew more what it was than the David Harbour one did, because they
at least had a clear vision.
Yeah, like it was campy all the way through, whereas the David Harbour one, I felt like it kind of held back to try to appease people that wanted it to not be.
I don't know.
Or they just didn't have the budget to do the shit they wanted to do. I don't know. Like, yeah, like in the David Harbour one, there were scenes where, like, they could have gone full camp, they just held back on. And this, like, I feel they used it to its full potential, even down to, like, the fight scenes between Ron Perlman and those weird demon dogs. Like, they were they were just fun to watch, because a lot of the shit they were doing, it seemed pretty practical.
Yeah, for sure. I like the action in this actually quite a bit.
Yeah.
And it did, like, balance, like, a supernatural campiness that I don't think that the new one balanced as well.
Yeah.
And then this one didn't verge into, like, the horror that much either.
No.
There is, like, suspense in it, but even then it's not a horrifying story by any means. So it's it does a good job at like pacing and a good balance to the story. It's fun and bouncy, yet fun and actiony. So.
Yeah. No, I had a blast with this one.
Same.
Like I didn't remember too much about it when I went into it, but I was like, fuck yeah, this was fun.
Yeah, for sure. So final grade?
I'm gonna say I might give this a pretty solid B+.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah. I think I'm also giving a really solid B+. It's really good. From what I can remember, I do think I like the second one more.
Yeah.
I mean, not by much. I'd probably give it like an A- off memory.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this Hellboy. I watched it like not that long ago, like 6 months ago. And so I kind of just had it on in the background here when I was watching Macy before you showed up. So like I was glad to tune in and out to parts that I really enjoyed, and it was really fun. I'm glad we watched it again.
I would have been curious to watch the second one, cuz like I said when we did the 2019 Hellboy. It just felt like the 2019 Hellboy felt like a shittier retelling of this one, but with different characters.
Yeah,
like it's just like the whole like tricking Hellboy into coming into the situation where you're showing him that he has his potential to bring about the end of the world, but with a different character.
Yeah. I mean, they do chunks that are the same in this. I don't necessarily agree that it's like a retelling of this. I think they really try to do something else.
Yeah.
But they did, like, a good chunk of this was, like...
Well, with
in
Hellboy's arc alone, I
Yeah.
feel like they do the exact same thing.
Sure. Yeah, so that's it. That's going to be it for, I think, this episode.
Yeah, that'll be it for Hellboy for a while. We're done talking about Hellboy for a good portion of time.
Boy, howdy. So, Thursday, we got
Iron Man.
Iron Man coming up to
Iron
see
Man.
our first dip into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah, the very first seedling of the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to dive into that
Mm-hmm.
to lead into our big review of Avengers Endgame.
Yeah.
Really curious to see how it...
I haven't seen the first one in a long time.
Apparently 4 minutes of it got leaked online. And like I guess it's like a 4 minutes that like spoils a shit ton of things too.
Oh, of Endgame?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So I
saw
oh,
that
shit.
they were on Twitter. It's like even people showing how to hide Avengers things on your timeline.
Yeah.
But I'm like, Jesus Christ, I don't think I follow anything that would just like throw it up there. But even then, like if I see anything, I'm just like scrolling past it.
Dude,
super
Facebook
quick.
is bad about that shit. I remember when The Last Jedi came out, like there was somebody that put up a thing where it's like, it was a thing that had nothing to do with it, and they were like, here's how you make the perfect bread. 1, do this, do that, do that. Number 4, Luke Skywalker dies. I was like, fuck you!
See, I'm kind of almost off Facebook now.
Yeah.
And so I check it like once a week.
Yeah.
And so I can go without looking at Facebook until Endgame comes out.
Too. But I'm sure there's always those trolls that are trying to put those memes out to try and fuck shit up for people.
I know.
Or I'm like, oh my god, just one more week.
I know. And also having like a comic-centric thing also. I just feel like there's going to be some asshole troll that's going to ruin it.
Just sneak in and just fuck it up for you.
Yeah, I know. I hope that doesn't happen. But
I'm curious. But I have an idea. I have an idea for Iron Man and for a possible Monday show that I'll bring up to you off air. Because I don't want to bring up the ire for our fans.
All right. Sounds good.
So I got an idea.
All right. Well, if the fans want to give you ire...
Yeah.
Where can they do so?
Bring it up on Bucky Fervent on Twitter, also Bucky Fervent on Instagram, and Bucky Fervent on Snapchat. Troy.
Find me at Troy to the Max on Twitter. Find us both at Review Pod on Twitter. You can find all of our episodes uploaded onto the internets on a slew of platforms. If you're listening to us now, you're doing something right. But if you want to just venture off into something else, we're on Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. If you're there, rate and review us so you can, if you like the show, it helps other people find the show. And if you want to write into the show, you're more than welcome to do so at reviewreviewpod@gmail.com.
Oh yeah.
That'll be doing it for this episode.
That'll be doing it.
Put a little cork in the Hellboy.
There you go. Yeah. We're done with Hellboy for a while. We've watched too much fucking Hellboy. Troy has both watched and read too much Hellboy.
And I still have to read more.
Oh, no!
We are doing, on Imperious Rex, a Hell Year. So every month I don't think it's going to last an entire year. But it's... we got more. Let's just say that. We got more coming down the pipeline.
GHD, give this man some credit. Let her go.
We did talk a little bit. I had a recording sesh yesterday.
Yeah.
As of recording this, we have something fun planned up for the cap of our Hell Year run. Ooh. So it should be pretty fun. Right. We're going all out. We're going out with a bang.
Ooh, fuck.
Yes, you bet. So that'll do it for the show, JT. But until next time. I have been Short of the Max Extreme.
I am JT3K.
And we are off.